On this week's Audiobook Club, what not to do if you turn invisible.
It's a moment that will stay with me forever. A moment so strange and terrifying that it's quite hard to describe. But I'll give it my best shot. You see, at first, I don't notice that I've become completely invisible. And then, I do. The actions of reaching down, picking up my tinkling phone, finding the silent button, switching it off, and staring at the screen while it vibrates in my hand and then stops. All of those things are so absolutely normal and everyday that I think my brain just fills in the missing stuff. Missing stuff, like me hand and fingers. It must be like watching a cartoon. Everyone knows that a cartoon, or any sort of film for that matter, is really a sequence of still pictures. When you watch them quickly, one after the other, your brain fills in the gaps so that it doesn't look all jerky. I think that's what my brain and eyes do in those 2 or 3 seconds that it takes to switch off my phone. They just see me hand because they expect to see it there. But not for long.
Hello, I'm Steve Phillips and welcome to another episode of Audiobook Club. Never work with animals or children. This week I shall be working with an animal and its child. Joining me down the line from Adelaide in Australia, it's Matt Layton.
Hello, Steve.
And sitting next to him, our guest recommender of this episode of Audiobook Club, Charlotte Layton.
Hello.
So, Matt, what have we got this week? And I have a sneaking suspicion roughly the genre.
Yeah, well, you think so, but I think you might be pleasantly surprised. This week, the title that has been recommended by Charlotte is What Not to Do If You Turn Invisible. And it's written by a gentleman called Ross Welford, and it's narrated by Aisha Kala. And it's 8 hours, 48 minutes in length and published by HarperCollins. This is a book that Charlotte has chosen for us. It's a story, as you might have guessed from the title, of a 12-year-old girl who turns invisible. Her name is Ethel, which is a 100-year-old name. Have you ever met anyone called Ethel, Charlotte?
No.
No, neither have I. Have you got an Ethel, Steve?
I did meet an Ethel when I was younger. It's not so much... I think it's coming back, Ethel, actually, the name Ethel. But I knew an Ethel. She was my nan's friend.
It's one of those old people names that hasn't come back yet. Strangely enough, today it says in our diary, Charlotte, that it's your friend Arthur's birthday. And Arthur used to be an old man name, and it's come back quicker than Ethel has come back.
Yeah, Arthur's a cool name. Ethel's a cool name. I like Ethel.
Enid, not so much.
Enid, not so much.
Enid's a cat name.
Gavin. Kevin, Kevin's actually not too bad. There's a lot of famous, cool American Kevins, isn't there?
There are a lot of Kevins.
Neil.
Right, we're rambling. Okay, come on, stop filling. There is plenty of exciting stuff to say here. We don't need you burbling along making up things, do we, Charlotte?
Quite right. Tell me about the book, Charlotte.
The book is about a girl called Ethel from Whitley Bay who turns out can turn invisible.
She can turn invisible, can't she? And it's not it's not like a happy children's fantasy book. I was quite surprised. She turns invisible because she's dealing with acne. So she somehow acquires a second-hand sunbed, and then she goes on the internet and buys some Chinese herbal medicine. Although when they try and look for the factory that made the Chinese herbal medicine, for some reason, it's disappeared, hasn't it?
Yeah, and there could be rhino poop in it.
It was ground rhino horn. Strangely, we mentioned ground rhino horn on the show a couple of weeks ago, and now it turns up as part of the potion that you need to get invisible.
Hang on a second. Now, ground rhino horn, as you say, has been mentioned twice already in a previous episode, and I spy a merchandising opportunity. If we do merch attached to this podcast, Matt, we should do the Audiobook Club ground rhinoceros horn.
Charlotte, will you be head of merch?
Yes, I'll be happy to.
Thank you very much indeed, Charlotte.
What else are we going to have for our merch?
Hats.
Hats. Okay, cool.
I like hats.
You like hats?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this time, unlike normal, right?
Yeah.
When I say something funny, you don't pretend not to laugh so you don't make any noise in the background. This time, or if Steve says something funny, which is more likely, you're allowed to laugh into the microphone, okay?
Okay.
Okay, all right. So, what was that?
Cough.
Oh, right, okay.
What else would it be?
I have to say, do you know what? I've not experienced this for many years, actually, but the pair of you sound a little bit like the Sooty Show when Matthew is telling off Sweep or Sue or what have you. No, put that down. No, when you do this, you have to do that.
But Charlotte, so Sooty Charlotte was a puppet from the 1960s originally.
Yeah.
Harry Corbett, then Matthew Corbett, I believe. And he basically had 3 puppets that were glove puppets. I don't know what he used to operate Sue. But I'd just like to assure any listeners now that I don't have my hand up Charlotte's bottom.
No. Well, that's podcast inappropriate. And it's also, actually, just linking on from that, Matthew Corbett was the very first. I don't know if you remember, and Charlotte, you won't remember, but please do YouTube this, Rainbow. It was a kids show on ITV, and there were 3...
With some of the best drumming on the theme tune ever.
Classic drumming. Classic drumming. Oh, it should have been at Glastonbury. But or the old grey whistle test. But there was Rod, Jane and Freddie.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember the three singers. And actually Matthew was part of the original trio. He was part. It was Rod, Jane and Matthew.
Oh, really?
And then Matthew went and got replaced by Roger, Rod, Jane and Roger. And then Freddie came along, the most famous one. And I found out today that Jane first of all married Rod and then married Freddie. Isn't that nice?
It's like ABBA and Fleetwood Mac. They were all doing it in those days. Can I just say, this is managing to bore both of our demographics. The young children won't have seen this programme, and everybody else has grown up.
Yep, that's my MO. Absolutely right. Yes, to deter all audiences. I don't want anyone listening to this podcast.
Mr. Chairman, can you reel us back in, please?
Absolutely. So I have to say, I was fascinated by this book. I thought it was. Especially when you talk about the acne, and I just remember the description of the acne from Ethel and all the grief she got from the kids at school about the acne. And we've all had that. We've all been there. The whole kind of pizza face reference and all that kind of stuff.
2 out of 3 of us have.
Of course, yes.
Because I've done it. But yet Charlotte is 11.
Yeah.
And it hasn't happened yet to you, has it?
No.
No. Are you aware that this is coming down the tracks at you like a giant freight train?
Yeah.
Are you aware that it doesn't matter and it finishes and then you get to be handsome like me and marry someone as cool as Mummy? Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Because I had a horrible time with acne. My nickname at school wasn't Pizza Face. It was Syphilis Face. Syphilis is a disease.
Oh, what? Oh, that's really rough.
Sounds stupid.
Yeah, it was. And also I had to, because I can't see very well, I had to stand up in front of the class. So it's interesting to me that the whole theme of this book is how to turn invisible. And there's parts of it that are like the clip we heard at the beginning that are slightly like a horror book, aren't they, really? Because she's frightened. No, you don't think so?
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, in that she doesn't necessarily want to turn invisible and she can't control it. And there are things that frighten her about it.
Yeah, but she does find out how to do it.
She does find out to do it later in the book. No spoilers, though.
Okay.
All right. But the other thing is, there were times in my teenage years, and I'm sure you have this already, Charlotte, where you want to be invisible. Do you ever feel that?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the whole deep, meaningful talking point is eluding us for the moment.
All right. In that case, on this show, Charlotte, I don't know if you've heard it, but we're kind of fans of burping and farting.
There we go. There's a level. Thank you.
Oh. And here's a bit where part of the side effects of using this invisibility potion is that it makes you do burps that smell like farts.
Ooh.
Immediately after waking, I let go the most enormous burp, which, if you did not know otherwise, you would swear was the stench of a rotten animal, A skunk, probably, even though I've never smelt a skunk. What with them not being native to Britain. I just know they stink. It was so foul-smelling that it was kind of scary, I suppose. Certainly totally unlike any, fart I have ever smelt. And much worse than the one Corey Musgrove let off in assembly in year 6, which people still remember.
Oh, that's gotta hurt, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Have you ever smelt a skunk, Steve?
No, I haven't. No, I've not had the privilege.
I have. It was when I was living in Canada, and I had a first floor apartment with a balcony. And on the lawn in front of the block of flats, just below the front door, there was a skunk. And the skunk got frightened, and it let off this smell that, even though it was one floor below me and outdoors, filled the back of my nostrils and the back of my throat. And I had to leave my house and go and stay somewhere else for the night.
No.
Did you stay in the hotel?
No,
That makes sense.
we can't talk about where I stayed because I'm married to Mummy now, okay?
Okay.
All right.
So so the skunk is that bad, can feel an outdoor atmosphere that you have to move house effectively for the night.
It is really rather horrible.
Wow.
So this podcast, right, this experiment in broadcasting was always going to go one of 3 ways. And it was either going to go really, really well and launch Charlotte's career as a podcasting superstar, or it was going to go really, really badly, and then we could delete it and pretend it never happened. And then the third option is it's going okay, which possibly is the worst option of all 3. I think that's possibly only it's going okay.
It means a horrible edit.
It does.
That's what it
A
means.
ruthless edit, I think.
Yeah.
Shall we do this book? Let's go back to the book. I was pleasantly surprised by just how much I enjoyed this book. I was somewhat surprised by how slow it was and how subtle it was. The first 25 chapters, even though the lead character turns invisible, not a hell of a lot happens, does it, Charlotte?
No.
You need quite a good attention span to listen to that 25 chapters, don't you, Charlotte?
Yeah, but luckily they're kind of short.
The book is set very much in a real world involving school, and Ethel lives with her grandmother, doesn't she? And there's all sorts of boring everyday stuff about how she lives her life and goes to and from school, and stuff about friendships. Obviously, we've mentioned spots. We've mentioned burps. It's not an Enid Blyton magic faraway tree story, is it? The magic in it isn't like that.
No.
I was really impressed, considering most of the crap you watch on YouTube.
Continue?
And the fact that you normally only listen to Harry Potter books. I was really impressed that you were prepared to listen to something that was verging on boring. Did you find it boring?
No.
Why not?
I don't know, just because it was fun. I liked it.
You liked it?
Yes.
Okay, deep, insightful criticism there. Okay. One of the things that interested me, and I think it speaks to people of your age, it seems the person who wrote it is kind of about my or Steve's age and a man. Do you think, and please give me more than a one-word answer, I'm begging you,
Okay.
do you think the author managed to get inside the mind of a 12-year-old girl, as an 11-year-old girl yourself?
Yes, I do think so.
Okay, why is that?
Because quite of the problems in the book are very relatable to people my age, I guess.
They are, and the problems are relatable. One of the ones that I liked was when writing an email to excuse yourself from school. I think there's a bit where the books I remember when I was Charlotte's age, Steve, they had secrets in them that possibly we weren't meant to know at that point, or you felt you weren't meant to know. So what this book does at one point is take you through the procedure of writing an email
To get off from school.
but then goes through the process of how you delete it from the sent items box once you've sent it.
Yeah.
Did you find that information useful, Bear?
No, because I know you would never let me do that. And plus, I only have an email for school and it's related to
No,
school.
but you could, if you used your mum and dad's email.
Yeah, but you would know.
No, if you delete it from the sent items, I won't. Maybe this would have gone over your head if I hadn't. So it's full of, yeah, good. This is going well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think? Do you think you'll be back next week?
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
We have another audiobook to review.
Yeah, we have another audio. Have you got another recommendation for us?
No.
No, good.
I've got a couple of questions if I can cross-examine the witness here, Charlotte, if that's all right.
Yes, I shall move the microphone towards the witness. There you go. You're the witness.
I have a couple of questions.
Full sentences, please. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, Charlotte. It's Steve here. I'm calling in from London. I'd really like to know if you found any of it sad. Did you relate to any of it at all?
Some bits I did find kind of sad, like her mum dying, and not going to spoil the rest of that. And I didn't find too much relatable, but I did find some things relatable because I kind of want to break into someone's house.
Actually, that's part of it, isn't it? It's what would you do if you were invisible, Steve?
What would I do? Well, I'd do exactly the same thing. Absolutely right. You go into people's houses, have a look around, see what their curtains are like, that sort of thing.
I wouldn't lie like you, and I would break into the girls' changing room.
Yes, right. Okay. How very 1977. I would. I'd tell you what I would do. Actually, this is
still laughing.
I would. I tell you, this is a golden opportunity if you were invisible to go and never pay for a West End theatre show again. You can go to any exhibition you like, go to Madame Tussauds, all that stuff without paying.
Charlotte, in particular, is a fan of the West End musical, aren't you, Charlotte?
Yes.
What's the best one you've
you
seen?
see.
Matilda and Wicked.
Matilda and Wicked are your two favourites, are
Yes.
they? All right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they're good shows. Good shows. Yeah. Solid West End performances, those.
Speaking of which, hold on. Obviously, my answer about the changing room. There is, strangely for a book for 11-year-olds in here, Charlotte, there is a certain amount of full frontal nudity, isn't there?
Yeah.
So, as well as disapproving of the hacking skills that it's teaching you, how did you find the naked boy? What was your reaction at that point?
I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. What is going on here?
But of course, you're at an age where these things are starting to enter into your life. I don't know if I've told you this, but when a mummy and a daddy...
Wow. This feels very familiar. I remember when Terry Wogan interviewed Goldie Hawn in a similar way. He didn't go into explaining what happens when a mummy and daddy love each other very much on BBC One at 7:00 on Wednesday.
All right. So bringing us back to where we're meant to be, Steve.
Yeah.
We have to talk about the narration because that way we get to end this pain much sooner.
Yeah, of course. Let's talk about the narration. Absolutely. I have some thoughts on the narration.
Okay, I do too. So the narration is... I'm trying to get hold of the microphone here because my child has messed up.
I have not. You have.
Aisha Kala is your narrator. So a male author, a female narrator. She's born in 1990. She's an actress with credits for the National Theatre. She's out of Essex, Steve. There you go.
Oh, good. My favourite narrator.
Yes.
Already.
Now discuss.
I thought she was actually an absolute perfect fit. Her voice, her accent really fitted the mood of the book because Ethel had a bit of a horrible time, didn't she? Really.
Yeah.
And I think it was very kind of melancholy is probably the wrong word, but it was very kind of she's trying to cope. She's trying to cope with life, and then she has to cope with being invisible. And I was interesting. So Aisha Kala's from Essex, but I guess, was she putting on a Geordie accent, or was she, because it's a Geordie accent, of course, listeners, or was she, did she sort of move to Tyneside at an early age? I'd be interested to know, because it's very good.
A Geordie accent Charlotte, is the accent that people from Newcastle have. I don't know, how did you find the accent? As somebody who doesn't encounter a Geordie accent every day because you live in Australia,
Yeah.
did you find it difficult to understand?
No. Just like the first chapter or so, it was a bit tricky, but I got a hang of it.
And how did you find her saying me instead of my?
I didn't mind it much, because I do that.
Did you notice it? Because you do it as well.
Yeah.
Did you notice it?
No, not really.
Okay, cool. From my point of view, as you know, Steve, down here, I don't do the accent. Whenever I'm around people who are from a place, I'll do the accent behind their back.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course you do.
I won't do it in front of them.
No, absolutely right.
At the point of casting this book, I would have to be 100% sure that somebody who's doing a Geordie accent can do a Geordie accent.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether Aisha Kayla was, whether she spent some time in Newcastle or she's just doing the accent because she's an actress. And I can't tell how good it is. I mean, it sounds fine to me, but I wouldn't necessarily assume that it would get a thumbs up from a Geordie.
Yeah.
It sounds convincing to me. I just think I would be nervous. Maybe we need to find a Geordie to ask. But I wouldn't necessarily have cast her in that role, because doing this for, if you think the audiobook's 8 hours and 38 minutes long, to be able to sustain...
It's 48 minutes.
Sorry. To be able to sustain an accent that is not your own for that length of time and be convincing. I mean, I suppose that's what actors and actresses do, and that's what they're meant to do. But in the position of the person casting or recording this, I wouldn't necessarily be confident in making somebody do an accent that isn't their native accent. Now, as you say, if she grew up in Whitley Bay, then fair enough. But that's the thing that strikes me, and I'm not in a position to judge how 100% accurate the accent is. You, Steve?
Yeah. I didn't find myself questioning the accent. I think it was more very, very fitting to the narrative, to the words. I have to say, actually, I did struggle. I struggled with the first, the same part as you, basically, the first sort of, third of it or so. It was, I think actually because the narration was quite slow as well, I found myself my mind started to wander a little bit away from the story. But I thought it fitted. I mean, I felt really, she was brilliant at getting across how I felt really desperate for Ethel, actually. I felt so sorry for her. Whether I was meant to or not, I don't know.
I was impressed with Ethel with the way that she thought and the way that she described things. And I'm really glad that Charlotte thinks that the author's done a good job of saying how 12-year-olds think.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Can I ask a question of Charlotte, please?
Yes.
I feel like I'm in class, actually, Matt. Sir, can I ask
you, boy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir. Sorry, sir. Can I ask our guest a question? Charlotte, you're 11 years old. Do you listen to? Do you like audiobooks? I mean, you've got the. Forgive me, by the way, but generally, when I was 11, I had the attention span of a gnat or an ant. Basically, it was like 0. And the thought of listening to an audiobook for 8 hours or nearly 9 hours, I wouldn't have gone anywhere near it. So I'm interested to sort of understand from you why you like audiobooks, I guess. Why do you sort of stick at them?
I'd say so because I like to listen to audiobooks when I go to sleep otherwise, because I just like having white noise in the background. Like buzzing.
Ah, I do that too, actually. I listen to stuff, just before you go to sleep at night. Yeah, listening to, listening to audiobooks or listening to radio or something. Yeah, it was radio for me, actually. That's interesting. Okay, so it sends you off to sleep. So do you find yourself when you wake up that you've fallen asleep through half an hour of it and you have to go and rewind and get back to the place you fell asleep at?
No, because we only listen to like 7 audiobooks because my sister intends to do so. And I know most of them, the plot off by heart.
Oh, okay.
Well, the 7 audiobooks you listen to are specifically the Harry Potter audiobooks, aren't they? We have, we've mentioned this before on the show, but we have 4 Alexas in our house.
4. 5. One's in the box.
This seems like extravagance. It's interesting to see my children watching them. You know, we heard these things 20 years ago of your children will interact with the internet in different ways. You know, they won't just be sitting at a screen typing. And it's just second nature for my girls to come in and say, Alexa, read a book. It will inevitably, Alexa, play a book. Stop correcting me, all right?
No.
Matthew is a host and also teacher.
But so it's not uncommon to walk through this house and find Stephen Fry reading Harry Potter from 3 different books in 3 different rooms.
Or Hamilton.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Your tastes have moved on a bit, haven't they? Wizzy still likes to have a Harry Potter audiobook read by Stephen Fry, but you're starting to get more into musical theatre now, aren't you?
Obviously, yes.
So do you think this is your last appearance on Audiobook Club?
I don't know.
How would you say you think it's gone?
Good.
Good.
Gug.
Good.
Gug.
This is another thing. It's like, Charlotte, how was the unicorn party? Good. Charlotte, how was visiting the starving children in Africa and giving them some food?
Good.
Charlotte, how was school today?
Gug.
Good, yeah. Basically, that's all you can get out of them at this age.
I tell you what, though, we should have... Charlotte, are you happy to come back in 10 years' time?
Pardon?
10 years' time?
Yes.
Would you come back in 10 years' time? Brilliant, because what we're going to do, we're going to play this to you in 10 years' time and get you to review this podcast in the same way you're reviewing the book. Yeah, because we want to hear your thoughts. The retrospective 10 years. We'll get you to review the same book in 10 years and just see if it's changed your perspective of the book, if that's okay. That's our little experiment. Because there's a documentary, Matt, in the UK, and Charlotte, by the way, it's good learning, where the director, I can't remember his name, it's Michael something, he took a group of 7-year-olds. Then he did 7 Up. So it's 7 Up, basically. So every 7 years, he looks at where these people are in their lives. And they're like 64 up or 72 up now, aren't they? So, yeah, let's do our version of that, if that's okay. If you'll be our victim, Charlotte. Is that all right?
Yes, I like being victim.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. By the way, I have to ask, actually, can I ask a question about your father? Does your dad not like Stephen Fry very much? Because,
no, he absolutely hates him. Too sick of him.
He hates him.
To death.
And is it anything to do with 3 Harry Potter books playing in 3 separate rooms all the time?
Well, usually they're the same one, but yes.
At slightly different stages, though. It's not in unison. Yeah. It's not like a choir of Stephen Fry's, is it? It's Stephen Fry reading different things at different times. I would like to add to that. So the last time we spoke about Stephen Fry, he'd already ruined Sherlock Holmes because he's done the full works of Sherlock Holmes. Hopefully that will make Charlotte's transition into Sherlock Holmes a little bit easier. You're about the right age now to start reading Sherlock Holmes. Your friend Stephen Fry will be there to read it to you. But I wanted to catch up on some George Orwell, and there was a complete collection of George Orwell. 1984, Animal Farm. I'd like to know what the rest of them are. I'd like to reread those and know what the rest of them are like. Stephen Fry. Then about 2 weeks ago, I went, ooh, there's a new version of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I would like to listen to...
Oh, God,
Stephen Fry.
Excellent, jolly good.
So he's basically just ruining everything I want to read.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I've just done a search of Stephen Fry on Audible. 197 books he's been involved in, and also podcasts as well for Audible as well too. P.G. Wodehouse, he's done that.
Yeah.
What else he's done? He's done Tales of the Beetlebird. So this is another J.K. Rowling, by the way.
I need to read that.
So there's a new one, Tales of the Beetle the Bard, sorry. This shows how
I've read that.
You've heard that one, have you? Yeah, okay, sorry, I mispronounced it there.
We have that.
Audiobook Club, we recommend and review audiobooks. Did you have any thoughts on that one? Here we go. What did you think about it?
I like it.
It was good.
It was good. Okay. I tell you what, can we maybe also in this podcast I'm not saying we need to pad it out necessarily, but
no, we've done 34 minutes of this.
We have done 30. Yeah, we have. Yeah. What did you think? What is it about the Harry Potter books that you like, Charlotte?
I think it's because they're very familiar, and the author is much liked children's book. We do have the actual Harry Potter book somewhere in our room, somewhere in the library here, and I just like the plots, and they're easy to follow, and they have complicated and non-complicated wordings.
They're well written, aren't they?
Yes,
they're quite densely written. And so you consume all of it, don't you? You've got the books, the films. And the audiobooks. But the
books are always the original, people.
The books are always the original. The audiobook or the written book?
Usually it's the written book because the audiobook doesn't get done until a few years later. Or maybe 10 years later. No,
it's not quite that long, but good thinking, Batman. But yeah, you do use them a bit like a security blanket, don't you? You're not necessarily, when your sister in particular, when she comes in and says, Alexa, play a book, she just likes the soothing sound of Stephen Fry to keep her calm. It's like a new pair of socks or a warm blanket, isn't it?
Yeah, I like socks.
Oh, yeah. It's a familiar voice, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I've been obsessed with Harry Potter since I was like 7.
Oh, yeah, about that,
Yeah,
so
7.
For about 5 years. Constant Stephen Fry in my house. 5 years.
Right, yes, constant Stephen Fry. Okay, I understand now. I understand. William Thackeray, a BBC radio drama collection, has got Stephen Fry in it. Have you done that one?
There's nothing sacred. There's nothing sacred.
No, other things by Stephen Fry. Okay, yeah, brilliant. Well, thank you very much indeed for that. I appreciate that. That was really good. Should we go on to the next time area now, Matt?
Should we do an up sum and then go on to next time?
Okay, then. So, what are we thinking then of what not to do if you turn invisible?
I have to be honest, Steve, I was a little bit apprehensive that I'd been stuck with an 8-hour children's book. And do you know what? I really enjoyed myself. I think it's incredibly well written. I don't think it talks down to the kids, does it, Charlotte?
No.
Does it feel like it's talking to you at your level?
I guess so, yes.
And there's sadness in there. There is interesting things about identity in there. There is, the notion of you're at the age where you're starting to have things that are yours, be they thoughts or be they secret things you do. And it's really interesting to see that reflected in this book. The cyber hacking, I'm not so sure about. The full frontal nudity, I'm not so sure about. But we always love a good burp or fart gag on this show, don't we, Steve?
Absolutely right. Never turn one of those down. It's anything lowest common denominator stuff because we want absolutely anyone to listen. Right. So that is that's that then. It would even like a mint. Oh well, this has been the best podcast ever. Thank you, Charlotte. Really appreciate your time today, this morning, or this evening. Of course, it's a podcast. It's timeless. So, Mr. Layton, if the folk out there want to get involved in Audio Book Club, what should we be reading next time?
Well, I've got 2 things lined up for us, Steve. One of which just popped up on Audible Plus, actually. So if you have an Audible membership, it's free. Do you remember the Chevy Chase film Fletch?
I do, yes, I do. It's not been turned into an audiobook, has it?
Well, it was one of those ones. It popped up on Audible Plus the other day at the same time as Mr. Chase himself, now 79 years old, was interviewed on one of my favourite podcasts, which is Club Random with Bill Maher. So I think there's a lot for us to do there. I want to watch the film. I've enjoyed reading the book. And now I kind of want to go and watch that interview to see what he's like. So I'm basically saying Fletch, and then you keep mentioning Andrew Marr's History of Modern Britain. After this week in particular, I feel like I need to be bettered, to be educated. So, and I think you deserve a week off after what you've just been put through for the last 40 minutes. Ow!
That did not hurt.
Which order do you want to do them in?
I don't mind. I mean, Andrew Marr's History of Modern Britain, I'd say the reason I'm really glad you've chosen to listen to this one, especially now, because the political climate in the UK at the moment, as it is in a lot of countries, I know, but the UK is kind of showing itself up around the world at the moment for being a little bit volatile. And I think actually some historical context from the last 150 odd years or whatever is probably just what we need right now to kind of ground us, and also know that it was kind of always like this. We just didn't, but of course there wasn't social media during Lloyd George's time. And so I think some context will really help. And I think Andrew Marr's History of Britain will hopefully give you that, if you're after that, because you're in Australia. So I guess it didn't really matter so much to you, but you've had, let's face it, you had like a series of ousters, didn't you, over in Australia? So it's been, it was a tumultuous time for a number of years in the not too distant past.
In fact, with Rishi Sunak arriving at 10 Downing Street, Australia and Britain have had the same number of prime ministers since 2005. It gets to the point where the Italians go, your economy's rubbish and you can't form a stable government. When you're getting that from the Italians, you know you're in trouble.
You get the Italians. Yeah, you do. I'm glad to hear that the UK's come up on the inside there to just level with you in terms of number of prime ministers.
So they have a 3-year electoral cycle here as well, so it's even more impressive.
Yeah, that's fun. It's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, we just zipped up inside of having like 16 prime ministers in a year. So that's the one. That's the one. Andrew Marr's History of Britain. But no, next week let's do Fletch. Let's do Fletch.
You're on.
Because frankly, we're still on the come down from all the political tumult that's been going on at the time of recording. Brilliant. Okay then. Well, that was a fantastic book. What Not to Do If You Turn Invisible. It's by Ross Welford, and it comes in at 8 hours and 48 minutes. Recommended listening. Actually, just a last recommendation from Charlotte, if I may. Charlotte, would you recommend this book to your friends and family?
Yes, I would. Definitely.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So we'll see you next week on Audio Book Talk with Fletch. So just time to say thank you to Charlotte.
Hello. Goodbye. Thank you for having me.
It's been an absolute pleasure, Charlotte. Do come again. Remember that 10 years time business. And Matt, we'll catch up next week.
Thank you, Steve.
Ta-da.